hangover, I guess you could call it. Yeah, so the one that we just recently published, which was spearheaded by our intern, I don't know if he's on the call, Mateo Pierce Mosquera, really kind of details issues pertinent to the Hispanic Latino community, particularly around citizenship and earnings. We've also been developing a few, let me see, I don't know if I can share my screen. 1 second. We've been developing some interactive maps that we hopefully can, I don't know if this is showing up. No, it's, let me share the other one, sorry. This is one that was specifically designed for Hispanic Latino community, but the idea will be to put something like this as a web app linked on the website or through Facebook or something like that. These are census tract level data for all Hispanics, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Cuban. These are the 5 most populous groups, at least according to our data from the 2015 to 2019 American Community Survey. We don't have the 2020 census data for specific groups yet, but you can kind of see where the different communities reside. At least as far as outreach is concerned, specifically in relationship to something like citizenship and outreach, I think having this kind of information will be helpful for us. But we're also developing more, I guess, integrative dashboards that'll include other data and variables and things of that nature. So this is kind of like preliminary. We're still working on the coding, but yeah, that's kind of how research is working right now, trying to develop the main documents we have to publish, as well as these sort of research briefs and applications that are accessible to the advisory committee, people in the public, and others. So if you have any questions, please let me know. We're always willing and able to accommodate any data requests, and have an excellent day. Thanks for being here this morning.
All right, thank you, Dr. Fenton. So we are building our database. We are trying to accommodate you all by pulling together data that's being analyzed so that we have a clear picture of the state of Hispanic Latinos in the state of South Carolina. And as Dr. Fenton said, they're doing periodic briefings. They're always posted on our Facebook, and you can always go to the web page if you want to see a copy of any research briefing. Diana, you have a question?
I actually have a comment, and
okay.
It's to commend the doctor for all the research he's been doing and he's been posting. Both Nilsi and I have used that data many times, and it's wonderful to see that every time we go into the website, we see something different, something new. That is needed for this state. We did
Absolutely.
Not have that data, and it is so refreshing to see. And I just had to commend Dr. Fenton for all his work. Really appreciate it.
Very good. And listen, I am very pleased with my research folks. CMA is putting out research like we've never done before. And we're getting compliments from around the state from various groups, whether it's Hispanic Latinos, African Americans, Asians, Native Americans, everyone's commenting on the kind of data that's coming out, and we're hoping to keep that going. We will keep that going because we are in the process of expanding that division, adding some more research folks to help Dr. Fenton move that part of the wagon. And hopefully when we move to our new space, we'll be able to fill those slots in August or September of this year. I just don't have the space to put them right now, but we are working on that. Research is at the heart of this agency. And I believe we have the right person leading the research team, and he's got a great team of people with Mateo and Ashley working under him right now. And we're going to add 2 more statistician and another admin person by September. So we're looking for bigger and better things coming out of our research department. Cynthia, can you update folks on what's going on in African American affairs?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. It's so good to see you all in this new year. Of course, February is the month of that we celebrate Black History Month, and we're in the process of planning our Black History Month celebration. And this year, we will be honoring healthcare professionals who have gone above and beyond the call of duty. More specifically, the celebration will spotlight professionals who worked during the COVID-19 pandemic to advance the knowledge and best practices in the area of our minority communities. This celebration is an invitation only due to, we have to social distance. So we will have an invitation only event at USC Alumni Center. And we have a keynote speaker who is Dr. Thaddeus Bell. And as you can see, thanks for sharing this flyer, Mauricio, that we will be honoring Dr. Linda Bell, who is a phenomenal epidemiologist for the state of South Carolina, as well as Dr. Winston McGiver out of Horry County, Ms. Dolores Scott, who is the executive director of Hold Out the Lifeline, and Tim Waters, who opened up a Save-A-Lot in Florence in a food desert area. During the pandemic, the height of the pandemic, he opened this Save-A-Lot grocery store in Florence. So we will be honoring these folks. We'll be celebrating. Again, it will be invitation only. However, you can view it live stream on our social media platform. And I hope you all will be able to join us and help us to recognize these folks and congratulate them on their award. I'm pretty sure that the link will be provided so that you all can please view, share with your friends, invite everyone. Let's just recognize these folks that sometimes go unnoticed. So please help join us in the celebration. And I'll just leave it at that, Dr. Costa.
All right, very good. And I'm not sure if all of you know, we also have an online newsletter. I hope that each of you are subscribing to it. Each quarter, I believe it goes out quarterly, and we try to focus on one of our groups. I think the last quarter we did Native Americans, and before then we did Hispanic, Latino. If you all remember, we interviewed folks and who told about their successes, and we're doing this quarter with African Americans. And in May, it will probably featured or be featured around the Asian Pacific Islanders. So we've got some great things going on at CMA. If you could think of something that you'd like to see in our newsletter, please let Yvonne know, and we will work hard to make sure it's included. Alex is going to come and give a brief update on Asian American Pacific Islander. And the reason Alex is doing it, Raphael left, who was over the Asian American Pacific Islanders. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a division called the Multicultural Division. Yvonne will be the director over that division. Alex will be a program coordinator under that title, and there will be other program coordinators under that title. And what we're trying to do is build a division that's culturally competent, a division that's culturally trained. All of them will be working towards learning and understanding the different cultures that we work with. And they'll be on one page. And I think Yvonne is the best person to lead that for me. So by the end of this year, under Yvonne will be the Hispanic Latinos. He will oversee the Asian division, Native American, as well as African American divisions under what we will call the CMA's Multicultural Division. So be on the lookout for these changes as they occur. Alex, can you tell them a little bit about what's going on in the Asian American section?
Yes. Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see you all again, or at least online. As Dr. DaCosta said, I am now filling in for Raphael's position until we find someone else to be an administrative coordinator. So as far as the API Affairs Division, we will be continuing Raphael's work, and for now we will be almost updating what we've done from the Hispanic Latino Affairs Division onto the AAPI Affairs Division, just because it could be applied pretty easily, even though I'm not Asian. I'm Hispanic, obviously, but and with that, we'll also be searching for interns or a full-time administrative coordinator, and we put that position out. We have a link to it on the website, and I'll put it in the chat just so that we can share it out. The deadline is February 4th until we stop taking applications, and from there we'll begin selecting. I've already contacted several of the Asian American organizations at USC, and we've got some applicants in, so we'll see how that goes. I'll keep y'all updated.
All right, very good, Alex. Jerry Francis, are you on?
Yes, ma'am, I'm
you
here.
share with the group what's going on in the Native American Affairs Division?
Yes, good morning, everyone. I'm Jerry Francis, the Native American Affairs Program Manager. The Native American Affairs Advisory Committee just met a few weeks ago. We had our January meeting. Our next meeting is scheduled in May. What we're doing right now, the major project that I'm working on is a collaborative effort with the South Carolina Department of Employment and Workforce, and we are revising or adapting a new MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, to implement the American Indian Workforce Development Program. We're trying to mirror a federal program that the Catawba Nation already benefits from being a federally recognized tribe, but for our state recognized tribes, there was nothing similar. So as South Carolina Department of Employment and Workforce agreed that this was an important community to reach out to in regards to workforce development, and so they're working with us in developing this new MOU to implement it. It hasn't got off the ground yet. We're still waiting for the MOU to be returned. Other than that, project-wise, I guess civic engagement. Myself, I've been giving some guest lectures at the various colleges around the state that offer courses in either Native American politics or history, and just trying to spread the word to those students about the existence of South Carolina's Native American communities and how CMA works with them. And I think that's about it.
Very good. Thank you so much, Jerry. Is Anthony on? Anthony, can you update us on what's going on in the small business world?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year as well. Just a few quick updates of what's going on in the business world as we're moving individuals from poverty to prosperity. Our biggest thing that we're working on right now is a rural business development grant, which is a $500,000 grant that the research department has already given me some data on to be utilized in that project. And we've identified actually 10 counties where we're going to be providing some technical assistance to them and the individuals in those areas to anyone who's looking to start, grow, or expand their business. We most recently signed a MOU with Operation Hope. For those of you who don't know, that's an organization, nonprofit organization that's run by John Hope Bryant out of Atlanta, Georgia, but it is nationwide. And they really focus on financial literacy for individuals and for smaller minority business owners as well. We're excited about that partnership and what they're going to be bringing to the table as we really try to enhance and expand our network of partnerships across the state. Most recently met with SC Trucking as well, where we're going to be promoting the new CDL program that they have, and also with Apprenticeship Carolina, where we've been working closely with them in establishing and creating some internships or apprenticeships actually with smaller minority business owners. Other than that, that's about all that we have going on. If you need anything from us, please let me know.
Thank you, Anthony. And with the CDLs, there's a major shortage of CDLs in the country, but we have an issue with the shortage of CDLs right here in the state of South Carolina. If you know of someone who has a CDL looking for work, reach out to Anthony. He will reach out to trucking, SASC trucking, so that some of the owners can know who's available out there. And if you know of anyone who would like to receive their CDL, Denmark Technical College just started their CDL program. The first class was started yesterday, getting people, and I think they've dropped the time down to probably a 5 or 8 week training class. We really do need people with CDL credentials because of the shortage and demand, and owners are paying, some folks are making as much as $70,000 a year driving for individuals. And after 2 years of experience, you could get your own truck and be your own independent driver. So we want to make sure we spread the word that we need CDLs. And if you have any questions about it, send Anthony an email and we will connect you to the right people to help get this started. All right, Yvonne and Alex, tell us what's going on in the Hispanic division.
Hello, everybody. Hola a todos. First of all, thank you. I see that we got, I think it's 18 of our Hispanic Advisory Committee members in here. That's almost every single one of them. Thank you. You know that you're a very important part of our activities. And not only for the meetings, and I like that you guys come to the meeting, we appreciate your time, but I also know that during the whole past couple of years, you've been very connected to what we're doing. And we feel that when we send an email and we get a response or we ask questions and people are always telling us what to do or how to do it. We had a very successful year in 2021. We want to make it even better this year. Shout out to Alex, Mauricio, and Andrea that helped us a lot in the office to make this possible. I'm only going to take a couple of minutes because we also had a presentation by Anna. And of course, we want to hear from you towards the end of this meeting. But for this year, we're going to have a 5-pronged approach to the activities that we do. The first one is going to be community outreach, which is what we've been doing very good and very successful, providing information to our community, making collaborations. Just yesterday, we got an email from Richland First Steps, letting us know that they have a radio spot in Spanish and that they are not being very successful, and if we can advise them in how to do it better. So this is how slowly but surely we're putting the commission out there for people just to reach out and say, hey, and I say this all the time, you need help, just ask. So they're going to be sending us their materials. We're going to consult them and tell them, hey, why don't you change this? Why don't you change that? Most likely it's because all they did was to translate their English ad into Spanish. So we're going to try to help them to create it for the Latino community. Also, the second area we're going to be working is youth development. And this is what includes our PLACE program and the summit. And I'll let Alex in this part tell you guys a little bit about the activities that we have for youth development.
So as y'all may remember, last year in October, so just a couple months ago, we held the first ever South Carolina Hispanic Student Summit in South Carolina at USC Upstate. And we actually had one of our advisory board members, Julio Hernandez, be the keynote speaker there. And because of that success, we will be coordinating some more summits in other regions of South Carolina. This includes, probably the next one will be in Myrtle Beach at CCU. We are currently coordinating a summit there for April. And we will also be trying to do one at USC in Columbia here. And we'll be working with LASO, which is Maria Lomeli's organization that she's president of. And besides that, I don't think I'm missing anything else, Ivan, as far as the youth education.
Just the part that we continue to develop resources for these students. We get a lot of asking information, what websites they can go to, and we're always researching for that. So for any of you that are on the education field, if you know of good websites, resources available for students, just let us know so we can get that information to the community. Now, another one of the areas we're going to be working on is civic engagement. The commission has now the Civic Engagement Academy. We're working right now with faith leaders. So we're going to adapt it, and take it to the Latino community, because for us it's very, very important that the community brokers, community leaders, and the community at large is aware of what's going on in public life. Number 4, and that's why we are very happy to have Anthony now working on the small business division, our Latino business directory. This is one of those activities that we've done some development. We want to do a lot more, because we feel that there is a lot of connections in the community through our businesses. Every time I walk into a Latino store or Latino restaurant, I find that this is a microcosmos of our community, because you have like 10, 15 people in there. If we're able to get a connection, a better connection with them, then you find out that you have connections everywhere in the state, because when we're doing outreach, the easiest thing to do is put Marlboro County Latino store, and then you'll find that there is a store somewhere out there. And if we can connect with them, and usually I think that the way we were doing that was not effective is that we were trying to connect them only through the business side. Now we're going with an approach that says, hey, we have community resources for you. If somebody in your staff gets sick, we know where they can go to get assistance for free. If somebody needs dental services, we also know that. If somebody has a problem with the law, we know people that can help them. So having this approach is going to be more like, hey, we want to create a collaboration that, guess what, at some moment you want to develop your business, we also have information about how to develop a business. So that's one of the areas that we want to really make an impact during 2022. And finally, as Dr. Da Costa mentioned, we are very interested in celebrating our culture. We are very interested in doing multicultural celebrations to celebrate and also to unite. We're especially and particularly interested in those cultural activities that can demonstrate how we are all part of one community. We feel that sometimes when we celebrate Cinco de Mayo, and then we don't make sure to let people know, these people here are also part of your community. They are also looking for jobs. They are also looking for good education. They also need access to services. We are trying to present the ethnicity of our communities, but at the same time, making everybody understand that we are part of the whole. We're part of the 100%. Minorities make the 100% for everything. So those are the ideas that we're going to try to be highlighting. As mentioned before, not only for Latinos, we'll be working with our other minority communities to make sure that when we celebrate something, we'll look for those connections and those links that we can have to other communities to make sure that we are all bringing everybody together. And that's what we're doing for the Latino community. I know we have a presentation from Ana Garcia that most of you should know by now. She was working on DHEC. Now she's in SE Housing. And I think this is one of those agencies that we could be learning a lot more about it, because they do have opportunities for our community.
Does that mean I should present?
Yeah, this is when you come in, Anna.
All right. So Yvonne told me I had 5 minutes, so I will keep to that. So let me just pull up my presentation. Oops, that closes everything for me. Okay. So yes, as Yvonne said, I'm now with SE Housing, and I think you should be able to see. I have 3 screens up, so please tell me if you don't see the PowerPoint.
Let me get you on that program. It's called the SC State.
Okay, great.
So let me see what
And I just started with SE Housing in December, and now I am much more familiar with all of the programs that I will be working on, which are the SC State Plus program and the SC Mortgage program that hasn't started yet, but I will mention as it should be starting soon. So as most of you all know, SC State Plus is a federally funded program through Treasury that provided assistance or is providing assistance to pay rent and utilities for those who have been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. This is similar but different from the SC State program. And this program covers 39 counties, but doesn't include 7, which are mostly the bigger counties. who all have their own program. And I will share that SC State Plus did return some money to Treasury to hopefully be reallocated to Richland and Charleston counties, which I know actually ran out of their money, which is great, but there's obviously still a need for assistance in these counties. So we did reallocate some money that will hopefully be, I mean, it's up to Treasury when that money will get there, but I did want to share that for those people who are in those counties. So for SC State Plus, you must be a renter. So people who are renting homes, not commercial businesses or whatnot. And if you are a homeowner, that is what the SC rescue program will be. And I will cover that at the end really briefly. 2, a household member, at least one, must be at risk of housing instability. 3, that their income is at 80% or below the area median income. And I do have the link here, and I can share the PowerPoint with Yvonne to share with everybody so that you can see, for your county, what that might be. And for that, the household must have experienced some sort of hardship due to COVID-19. So, job loss, whatnot. And for those people who are eligible, they can get up to 12 months of back rent, up to 3 months of future rent, and their utility bills paid. And for those who have already been displaced, there are some things that this program can pay for as well. And this can include moving costs, hotel, motel expenses, moving costs. But I will say that some of these costs are reimbursed versus, paying upfront. So to apply, there are 3 ways, and there are Spanish assistance available in all of the forms. So online, you can apply for this program on your phone, on your computer, English or Spanish. There is also a phone line where people can also apply or ask their questions or get assistance, check in on their application. And we have a toll-free number available as well. And the hours are from 8 to 9, Monday through Friday. So my understanding is that after hours is usually actually a smaller wait time. And then you can also get assistance in person. And we have a link on our website that's updated every week with the different locations. And we have actually partnered with SCOTCAP, the community action agencies. And so people can get assistance in Spanish. My understanding is at any of the SCOTCAP, the community action locations. So that's on the second page of that PDF. So for SC State Plus, we try to be flexible and ask for the least amount of information. So it can be, you will need some sort of ID. And since immigrants are eligible for this program, this can be a foreign document, and it can be expired as long as it is valid up to March 13, 2020. So if it expired March 2020 or after, then this that kind of ID is eligible. Some sort of proof of income, some sort of proof of a past due rent, so some sort of receipt of all the of what rent is owed, broken down by month, and a proof of having a lease. And that is all you need to provide this program. And they are very flexible. There's other options. If you don't have a formal lease, for example, there are other options of documents that can or screenshots that you can show that you had been paying for rent. So everybody can self-attest to housing instability. For people who live in the counties that you see in the dark blue, they can self-attest to their income. And for those who live in the light blue areas, they can also show unemployment information as well as enrollment in TANF, SNAP, or EBT as other ways of showing their income. And then very briefly, I think I've went over my time, but this process usually takes about 45 days. It does take some time to get that application reviewed. There are different reviewers, official reviewers. So it is really important that people apply when they apply to get their assistance as fast as possible, that they go ahead and submit their documents and If any documents are missing, they will get notification, but then if that happens, they should upload those documents as soon as possible so that the process can continue. That's actually one of the places where most people are stuck, is that they haven't submitted the documents that they need for the assistance. So if somebody is threatened with eviction or gets an eviction notice during this time, they can call the call center to get that process expedited. But of course, we want to get people before they even get to the eviction process. And if somebody has already gotten assistance through SE State Plus, but they haven't met that 18-month cap, they can reapply through a recertification. So it would be step number 6 on the application. And they can go ahead with their application ID and their date of birth. They can go ahead and just recertify. And then really briefly, we also have this program that's coming up that will provide mortgage assistance and utility for those who have been impacted by COVID-19 as well. And if you go on our website, you can sign up for a notification when this program starts. So hopefully that will be starting soon, because we know that there is a need for this as well. So thank you. And this is my information.
Anna, I have a question.
Certainly.
A few months ago, we were approached by the governor's office asking us to help SC Housing identify folks who needed rental assistance. And then they had over $271 million that left to give away. Has any of those dollars been given out? What kind of balance do they have left to disseminate?
So SC State Plus has 2 money buckets, right? They have the Emergency Rental Assistance Program 1 and Emergency Rental Assistance Program 2. And my understanding is we're about 60% of the first bucket. So we have until September to spend those dollars, and then
September of this year.
And then
I was thinking September of last year. Okay.
No, so we still have some time, and then we'll have ERA 2 or ERAP 2 to finish I think another few years. So this program isn't ending anytime soon. There's still money available for anybody who needs it.
Can you said something about the 18-month threshold. Can you explain that a little more?
So we have been saying 12 months, right, of back rent and 3 months of future rent. But with my understanding anyway, is that you can get up to, I guess, 3 months extra through ERA 2. So that money is available as well.
Okay. ERA 2.
And only for those assistance.
Okay, very good. Any questions for Anna from the group?
Anna, I have a question from Tanya. She asks, will SE Housing be doing first-time homeowners down payment assistance if they're not already doing that?
That is not my program, but my understanding is that we do some homeowner assistance for first-time home buyers. I know that there is also a program called SE Palmetto Heroes, I believe is what it's called. And that's a program that happens every year to also help with, I believe, first-time home buyers. And that program hasn't started yet. I think it's usually in April. So I can try to find out some more information and share that with you, Tanya.
That would be wonderful if we could find out more about the first-time homeowners, or if you can get Yvonne a name, maybe we can have that person come on and present at another meeting, or develop some kind of Zoom that we could share with all of our folks.
Certainly, I think that could totally be happening.
Any other questions or comments for Anna? I see a hand raised. Is it Matei?
Yes, this is Maite from Richmond Library. We've been helping with applications at the library, and I just want to comment that sometimes for fellows that don't have a computer or they don't have a scanner to scan the documentation, and drop all these applications online. Libraries all over the state have scanners, have internet, and have computers and assistants. And also some libraries have Department of Outreach that they can bring the internet to some places if we have an event or people want to apply. That's it.
Very good. Very good. Say your name for me so I can get it right.
It's Maite Velasco. Maite.
Maite Velasco.
Mhm.
Okay. Very
And
good.
also very quickly, I put it in the chat. We just formed a new task force. It's a state level with the entire library system. And Reforma is been, I think it's 25 years old, and it's specialized in helping people who speak Spanish.
Okay, very good, very good. We have an MOU with the library system. Maybe that could be part of the service that we can inquire about. Right now, it's with the library system with our resource guide for the formerly incarcerated. We may need to look at your division and add some of those services in an MOU also, so that CMA can help promote the services that the library system is putting out there to help folks. So
libraries traditionally, we do a lot of research and provide resources, and it's more staff, not necessarily in Spanish, but any other issues. That's what we do.
okay, very good, very good. That's good to know. Any other questions or comments? All right, thank you both. And CMA, that's what we do. We partner with a whole lot of folks to make sure that we have all the resources available to provide for the people we serve. And this definitely will be something that we will add to our list of resources. Any comments or observations from other committee members at this time? Good morning, is that Julio?
Hi, good morning, Dr. DaCosta.
Good morning.
It's good to see everyone, and congratulations, Yvonne, well deserved. I tell you what, you got some, Dr. DaCosta, you have some stars with Yvonne, Alex, and so many others, so.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I always tell folks I have the best staff in state government.
Mhm.
And that's a true statement, because we're small, but we're a powerful group of people because we work hard to make sure that we get the job done. And I couldn't ask for a better staff. So you are absolutely right.
Yeah, and I appreciate the intentional engagement. I can't think of too many platforms that convene the entire state of South Carolina. I know all of us have a busy schedule, but when we do get a chance to be able to connect with people from Richland, from Greenville, from Florence and Low Country, this is pretty exciting. I definitely look forward to these calls. So thank you for having me. I do have maybe a couple of things I could share that I think
Sure.
would impact the Latino community. Actually three things. First of all, I'm really proud of the champions on this call and those that maybe are not on this call, but really encourage our Latinx students to continue to pursue higher education. As we all know, the pandemic can impact our families, our Latino families, and economically, and just in so many different ways. Here at Clemson, we are still seeing our number of applications of Hispanic students rise. At Clemson, just to give things in perspective, we receive about 46,000 applications every year, but at least 10% of those applications, and still have to do a much better job, but at least 10% of those applications are from Hispanic and Latinx students in South Carolina. So
wonderful.
I know that this is an effort that everybody from the state are encouraging our people to pursue education, because like all of us may agree that education is one of the many equalizers for our Hispanic community. So just wanted to give everyone thanks. But a couple of exciting things coming to a high school near you. A lot of you might not know, but we have a Tiger Alliance program, which basically provides mentoring for young men of color from 9th grade through 12th grade. And then and after they're graduate from high school, they can go to USC, College of Charleston, Clemson, and so forth. Well, the success, we've had this program about for 4 or 5 years, and the success of that program has been where all ninth graders have graduated from high school and are now at universities. Well, because of the success and some funding that we've received from companies such as Boeing and others, we are now not only going into the middle schools to start from 7 through 12, but we have identified some schools, not just in the upstate, but now we've identified some schools in the Midlands and Low Country.
Wonderful.
So we are working with superintendents from those areas to identify schools that they recommend so we can engage our young men of color from 7th grade all the way to 12th grade. And if they go to USC Columbia, Clemson, or wherever, the important thing is that they get an education, and that's pretty exciting stuff. So we expect to roll that out in the coming fall of 2022, but you'll be seeing that kind of partnership with school districts in the Midlands and Low Country and upstate.
Very good.
And last but not least, I definitely always want to put a plug in. April's coming around, and April around here, the office is a little busy. Last November, we were excited to launch the inaugural Women's Roundtable. This is such a great initiative because we talk about empowering young men of color, but what about the women? And so we were able to have some just great keynote speakers and breakout sessions, having people like Soledad O'Brien and Vanessa White, who is now the NASA director, and of course, in affiliation with Clemson. But it was so great to see young ladies from 7th grade or the middle school, high school, college, and professional women all together to really share experiences and share best practices about how to keep moving forward and supporting one another. Well, it was such a success that we're having it again, April 20th.
Very good.
It's going to be April 20th in Greenville. I can't rely too. We're working on the contracts on the speakers for the women, but it'll be coming. The announcement will be coming in, if not this week, for sure next week. But as far as our Men of Color National Summit going into our 5th year, which we're very excited, that is still on. We of course have a website, and the date of that is April 21st and 22nd. Person I'm looking forward to all of them, but Jose Hernandez, for those that know Jose Hernandez, he's one of the first Hispanic astronauts, and he has an amazing story. And so for him to be here in Greenville, he's coming from California, he'll be here in Greenville and be able to connect with a lot of our students and, some of those students in heart. That's going to be exciting. And also we have Michael Stradamenis, who a lot of people might not, the name might not ring a bell, but he's the Executive Vice President for Public Engagement for the Obama Foundation. So he will also be here in Greenville and so many different others. People can go to our website, Clemson Men of Color. We're going into our 5th year. Very exciting. This would not be successful without the support of people like everyone from the Commission on Minority Affairs, Dr. DaCosta. So thank you from the very beginning, being such a supporter. I think we might even have some of your teammates presenting.
Very good.
And presenting in this national conversation. So we got some good things. And again, thank you for bringing us together.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing with us today. Always good to hear from you and to hear about the great things going on at Clemson and how you're reaching around the state to make sure that minority students participate in these opportunities, because that's what it's all about. Finding an opportunity, putting it in front of these students and letting them fly with it. That's a great, great thing. And we appreciate you and appreciate all that you do at Clemson University. Anybody else with a comment or anything before we end? Well, as they say in church, if all hearts and minds are clear, we are going to say so long for now, but you know how to find us if you need us here at the Commission. We are here to serve you and to make sure that your communities receive the kinds of resources that are needed to help move families, friends forward. The Hispanic population is the fastest growing population in the state of South Carolina, and I can't wait to see all the new numbers, because that means that shows a great economic impact in this state. And that's what we need to educate people about. Who's adding value to this state? So therefore, be on the lookout for new data as we collect and analyze. And if there's something you'd like to see our research department do, or just something that you'd like to see the commission doing on your behalf, please reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to do all that we can to accommodate your needs. If there's nothing else, thank you all. And hopefully for our next meeting, we'll be in our new building. And I'm hoping that COVID would allow us to have a face-to-face meeting soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.